years, the MAGA crowd has faced a lot of criticism, but none more stinging than the line of attack.
According to that poll, we literally have millions of people in America who say we would like Cenk to be the president of the United States of America. Not because we dislike him. There are some policies we didn't agree with, some policies we agreed with, but because we didn't want to lose to Donald Trump.
Cenk Uygur just pulled a 180 on MAGA. The guy who built his brand bashing Trump is now singing MAGA's praises. But here's the kicker, he's not owning up to his past rants.
They think you guys are all MAGA, and MAGA means it's a cult, and you're never going to disagree with Trump, you're never going to disagree with each other.
You come to a MAGA event and there isn't a seriousness. It's not about people trying to fix America, it feels like a carnival.
Yeah.
Is that a fair critique?
No.
Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Matt Walsh is calling him out. He's got the receipts, old clips, tweets, the works. Cenk's new love for MAGA? It's looking pretty shady. Cenk Uygur just dropped a bombshell on Twitter, and his followers are losing it. The guy who's been trashing MAGA for years suddenly decides they're the good guys. Come on, Cenk, we've got receipts.
In other tweets and comments, he's called for unity between the two sides. He's criticized the extreme left, or as he now apparently calls them, the max left.
So we're all faced with this impossibility. Do you lie and fill out the form so you could be on the ballot?
Let's rewind a bit. Cenk's made a career out of bashing Trump and his supporters. He's called them every name in the book. Fascists, dictators, you name it. Remember when he jumped on the deplorables bandwagon? Yeah, that was Cenk. He's been serving up hot takes against MAGA on the Young Turks like it's his job. Oh wait, it is his job.
They're not on your side. They're on the establishment side, right? And guys, today, I think that, we could do something historic.
We need that passion in all of us to remember that it is possible. So on the Young Turks.
But now he's singing a different tune. His latest tweet is all about how MAGA's suddenly anti-establishment and fighting corruption. It's like he's trying to gaslight us into forgetting everything he's ever said. Let's break it down. On one side, we've got years of Cenk ranting about how MAGA supporters are the worst thing to happen to America. On the other, we've got this new tweet praising them like they're freedom fighters. The whiplash is real, folks. So what's the deal? Why the sudden change of heart? Is Cenk having a genuine political awakening, or is something else going on? Here's where it gets interesting. The Young Turks isn't exactly killing it in the ratings department these days. Their viewership's been on a downward slide for the past couple years. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? Is Cenk trying to tap into a new audience to boost those numbers?
I think that we could actually unite the left flank and the right flank. And I've got a model for how to do that, and I want to run it by you guys.
In recent months, especially since Trump's win, but even before that, we've seen some well-known figures on the left move to the right. Now,
experts say this kind of flip-flopping can really mess with audience trust. People start to think you're just saying whatever gets you the most clicks, not what you actually believe. And let's be real, Cenk's 180 on MAGA is about as subtle as a brick through a window. So here we are, watching Cenk praise the very people he's built a career criticizing. It's like he's hoping we all have collective amnesia, but the internet never forgets Cenk, and neither do your viewers.
Now, despite being a far-left commentator who has demonized conservatives for literally decades, he now says that MAGA is not his enemy.
But back then, I was trying to prove how politically incorrect I am. So I wrote a lot of silly things, wrong things, outrageous things.
But hold up, this story's just getting started. You won't believe who's stepping into the ring to call Cenk out on his convenient memory lapse. You'd think Cenk's MAGA U-turn would be the headline, but hold on to your hats. Matt Walsh just crashed this party with a viral tweet that's got everyone talking. Is he about to blow the lid off Cenk's sudden change of heart, or is there more to this story than meets the eye? Matt Walsh isn't exactly known for pulling punches when it comes to left-wing figures. He's made a name for himself by calling out what he sees as hypocrisy and double standards. And boy, did he come out swinging this time.
You could be a real candidate, and then if the Supreme Court blocks it, you say, hey, that's America, and the Supreme Court has weighed in on it.
The election's stolen again. That's my biggest fear.
So you think it was stolen last time?
Absolutely.
In a tweet that spread like wildfire, Walsh basically called BS on Cenk's whole MAGA is anti-establishment now shtick. He's saying MAGA has always been about fighting the powers that be.
Maybe have some humility and shut up and listen for a few. You haven't listened at all your entire life. Maybe you should be listening now.
This is not the answer. And I thought Trump acted brave. And that was an amazing moment.
It's not some new revelation Cenk just stumbled upon. So what's Walsh's argument? He's pointing out that the MAGA crowd has been all about draining the swamp from day one. They've been yelling about corrupt politicians and deep state shenanigans for years. Walsh is basically saying, hey Cenk, where have you been? But here's the real kicker. Walsh isn't just calling Cenk clueless. He's suggesting something way more devious. He's hinting that Cenk knows exactly what he's doing. Is this some kind of calculated move to boost those falling Young Turks numbers? The reactions to Walsh's call-out have been all over the map. Conservative commentators are cheering him on, saying it's about time someone exposed Cenk's flip-flopping. But some liberals are defending Cenk, saying people can change their minds. It's like watching a political tennis match. Now, everyone's waiting to see how Cenk's gonna respond. Will he try to explain his sudden MAGA love? Will he admit he was wrong before? Or will he just pretend like his past MAGA bashing never happened? Well, so far, Cenk's sticking to his guns. He's doubling down on this whole MAGA is anti-establishment now thing. But he's not saying a word about all those times he trashed MAGA supporters. It's like he's hoping if he ignores it long enough, everyone will forget.
Don't forget this moment. Look at how wrong they were when they said don't try and don't go for change.
My ideas. So I give up. I'll just do violence instead. And I loathe it. I think it's the worst thing that could happen in this country because it'll tear us apart.
So what's the deal? Has MAGA always been fighting the system and Cenk just missed the memo? Or is this some new direction for the movement? Either way, one thing's for sure. This Twitter beef between Cenk and Matt Walsh is shining a spotlight on some serious questions about political flip-flopping and who's really fighting the establishment. So here's the deal, this whole Cenk versus Walsh drama, it's not just about two guys duking it out on Twitter. Nah, it's way bigger than that. The real loser here is truth itself. And let's be real, political discourse ain't looking too hot either.
And have people think you're a real candidate and you could run and you could be supported and you could show up in a poll and you can get donations. And
Liberal Republican in New Jersey and then eventually became a progressive. The short answer is I believe in facts.
Look, when big names start flip-flopping on major issues, we gotta ask ourselves what's really going on. Is it a genuine change of heart or just a desperate grab for attention? Cause in this age of viral outrage, seems like controversy is the new currency. But here's the thing, we're not just passive observers in all this. We've got a job to do. Next time some talking head does a 180 on their views, don't just nod along, question it, dig deeper. Cause at the end of the day, who's really benefiting from all this drama? It ain't us, that's for sure.